there. That's where we get to. Alright. We now have a malfunction. So the first thing is to cut it away. So a good peel, especially on these. The layers of webbing with the Velcro in the middle are designed so that it's more difficult to pull it off in other directions. So we have to actually peel the Velcro off, normally in that direction around your thumb, and then take it out in that orientation. This riser is quite happy to clear off, and then this is where all the work comes from. So this is attached to our reserve static line, and it starts to peel around. Now you're going to face that way slightly. I want to see it. Okay, well, tell you what. Slide that up. We can put someone else in here.
Oh, okay.
Who's seen a Skyhook deployment? Oh, there, Josh is going to take out so you can see your right. All right. So the first thing that's going to be influenced here is the RSL component. That is the shorter part. So as that pulls, our reserve pin is going to be removed. Isn't it convenient? that wasn't there. Years ago I did a display, and as I flew past the bouncy castle I thought, that's nice. And then over the crowd, and this hole appears in the crowd and follows you until it gets to the guide rope, and then it's like, oh, very pretty. It's quite tight. On tight. There she goes. Alright. So now, that's yours, Lucy. Hold on to that for a second, don't pull. We have the reserve pilot chute doing its normal job. And inside here we have, just on that way, little Josh, the Skyhook, which is simply the main parachute here is attached to that section. All of this comes out. It's just a little bit of Velcro. So who is winning? It could be the reserve pilot chute, or it could be the main parachute. That's essentially all the Skyhook is now going to do. It's going to extract the free bag either through this and all the resistance from there, or through that. It's referred to as a Skyhook because of its hook shape. If we had a total malfunction and all this was still packed, we don't want that to have a pilot chute in tow. Strangely enough, it's actually, there's just a little bit of brake tie here as well. The principle of the brake tie is that if the Skyhook does its work normally and the free bag comes out, the free bag will remain attached to the main, and it is simply easier to find afterwards. That's the only reason that little bit of brake tie in there. But if the pilot chute is having to do all the work in a total malfunction, pull, that comes off. The reserve pilot chute does its normal work. This didn't really play or influence the reserve deployment in any way. The main would still be in there. So that's simply a Skyhook and how it functions.
Just to add to that, UPT will tell you if you ask them, if you cut away on your back, the pilot chute will not stay attached to the main, because the pilot chute goes one way and your main is going the other, and it will actually break free. I've got that on video as well.
It is far more important for this to come undone when it's not, at any stage, than it is for it to not come undone when you need it to. Last thing you want is a pilot chute in tow on your reserve. Right, there's a Skyhook. Really simple. People have seen a reserve before? Okay, so the bridle line is very long. The idea is that potentially if this is snagged on you, the bridle line is longer than the lines, so the canopy can still feed out, the lines can still feed out, and the canopy can come out of the bag, even if that is caught around your arm or something. This bridle line isn't wide enough to catch enough air to pull the free bag out, but we assume if the free bag has dropped away from you, there's enough for this just to allow the free bag to feed out. Your reserve is just like your main. It's packed in a bag. The lines are stowed, not in elastics, but generally just in a little pocket there. The reserve is inside and will feed out once the mouth lock is opened in just the same way. And then obviously you have exactly the same thing here with your reserve risers and such like. Alright. Reserve pack will be ready, please. I've pulled that out. AAD cutter in this situation is mounted just there. So the closing loop passes through it. That is the firing mechanism for the AAD. Okay.